Hey guys, it's Evia. So in today's video, we're going to be making a family for my new save file. So this is actually going to be the Summers family, and they're going to be in the townhouse that I made in San Sequoia. They're going to be in the blue and yellow one. I think it's a really cute house. It's very fun, lots of stuff for kids. And yeah, I think it's a really cute family. Right now we're working on the mom, who is, if I remember correctly, Kristen Summers. And yeah, she's a very cheerful, family-oriented sim. I thought about having her be a stay-at-home parent. I might do that. I'm not sure. But her husband is going to be a tech guru in the tech career, and he's going to be working in San Sequoia in the tech company building that I made, which that will be a video out later, either a stream or just a long form video here on YouTube. But yeah, going with her, I did the styling a little bit different than I normally do with my Sims, but I actually really like it. I feel like she almost reminds me of a Sims 3 sim. It might have been my background, I admit, which is Sims 3 inspired, and it's by vyxated if you're interested. But I don't know, I just did her a little bit differently. I used this eyelid skin detail that I don't usually use, and I think it turned out really pretty on her. Also, I feel like the hair that I ended up picking for her was really perfect. I've never picked a hair for a sim so quickly. I literally landed on that one and I was like, yeah, that's perfect. That is so her. It's kind of like messy, like looks like she's like in the middle of like dealing with kids and it's just like quickly swept to the side. I thought it was super cute. Also, I've never done a Crazy Sim video. This is only my third video on here. This is my first actual pre-recorded video and not a stream. So I'm kind of new to it, but it's really exciting. But I've had people asking me about how I'm going to be going about save file content and if it's going to be released. So I've been thinking about it. The save file is currently CC. I will be uploading the individual builds to the gallery once they're finished and once I gather all of the content for them, like the CC files and such. But as for the actual save file, we just have to wait and see because I don't really know how you can go about that without too many issues, and I've used CC pretty freely throughout it, so I feel like all the files for it might be a lot for some people's computers. So at the moment, I'm not going to say that I am going to be releasing the file as full CC. In the future, though, I do plan on making a no CC save file. I do want that one to end up being all worlds, but I have thought about releasing versions of it after I complete one world or just like when I feel like it's at an okay point for people to start playing with. But yeah, and with a save file, I've said this on stream, but I basically want it to just be like a vanilla plus, I guess you could say, save file. I'm not going to be deleting any of the townies. We're just going to be doing makeovers. We're going to kind of be diving deeper into the lore. And with the worlds, I'm going to be using the tool mod just to make everything feel a little bit more fleshed out. And yeah, I just want to add in a lot more Sims, use the residential rentals, which I know are a little bit glitchy for people, but so far I haven't had any problems and I really love using the feature. So I am using it at the moment, but we'll see how that goes. Hopefully nothing happens. I've been backing up my save though, pretty much every time I make significant progress. But here we have the hair that I ended up picking for her. I really love it. I think it works really well. In this video, I only did their everyday outfit because I figured this would be way too long if I did every single family member's full wardrobe. But yeah, I think she ended up being really cute. She has like just like a simple outfit. Don't mind my phone. But yeah, I ended up really liking her outfit. It was pretty simple. I usually do Sims with more accessories, but I felt like it kind of worked for her having a more easygoing outfit. And then as for the kids, they have two twins, which I added the second twin at the end because I was debating. I'm like, do I want to do two toddlers or two child Sims? But we ended up doing two child twins and then a toddler. And then I'm going to have her in game in the save, perhaps start out pregnant, or I'll add in the infant. I haven't decided. I do have a nursery in their home, which is already set up. So, yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. If she should be starting in the save, pregnant, or if she should have the infant. I saw the other day a new mod came out from a creator and it is a stroller mod. I have to get that. I think that's so exciting. I was pretty disappointed when Growing Together came out and instead of strollers, they had like the little backpack things that the babies would be in. I still like those, but I would have liked to have both as an option. But yeah, here's Kristen Summers, and then I can't remember her traits. We missed them. But it was pretty much, I think, just super parent, and then she was creative and outgoing. And then here is her husband. So, like I said, he's gonna be in the tech guru career. I had him leveled up with UI cheats up to a project manager, and I think that's what I'm gonna keep him at. So he's like a league below the branch split. You know where they can like choose which branch they want to be in? I think he's like the level below that. And I did, after recording this, change his name to be Anon because off camera I made the grandmothers on both sides of the family. And for his mom, I was thinking that she would be of Tomarang, like she's from there. And then I was looking up like Indonesian, Thai boy names, and I saw Anon. Hopefully, I'm saying it correctly. And I ended up really liking that for him because in here his name was Samuel, and I just felt like it didn't really work. But yeah, I actually made his dad as well, but I made him a ghost. And kind of the storyline with that is that his dad recently passed away, and his dad and his mom were really close, like they were like soulmates. And now his mom is going to be in the nursing home that I'm going to be making with Kristen's mom, who has been there for a while. Like, I'm thinking maybe her husband died like when Kristen was younger. But yeah, she's been there for a while and they kind of have beef with each other. Like, they don't exactly get along, but they do for the sake of like their kids and their grandkids. But they have a little bit of drama with each other because they're very different. That's how I made them. They're very, very different Sims. But yeah, I'm still not 100% obsessed with how he looks. I really do struggle, like many people, with making male Sims. But we tried. I kept like kind of these straight eyebrows that I don't usually do. But I think it turned out okay. And then I loved this hair because this reminds me of Dream's hair. If you've watched The Sandman, then you'll know what I'm talking about. I still have to watch part two of season two, I think it is. I'm so sad that that show is on its last season. I'm pretty sure it got canceled, which really sucks. But this is from the Life and Death pack, if I remember correctly, and it really reminded me of Dream's hair. I feel like it was probably inspired by it because it looks spot on. But yeah, I ended up using that hair and I really liked it. I used these eyes, which I haven't used yet, I believe, on a sim, and I ended up really liking them. And yeah, I feel like Anon is just kind of your typical tech bro in like Silicon Valley. That's what I was going for. But yeah, he has a great relationship with his kids. They both do. You know, he had like stricter parents, so he wants his kids to feel a little bit more carefree. But yeah, I really like how the whole family ended up. I feel like the kids were a decent blend of the both of them. Sims 4 genetics, especially if you use CC, are never the best, but I try to have everyone a nice blend of both. So, like the child Sims ended up having black hair, but like their mom's eyes. And then with the toddler, I ended up doing slightly lighter hair, so it's like more of a brown. It's like almost a blonde, but not quite. But then they had darker eyes. So I thought that was kind of nice. And then also afterwards with the recording, I did make his skin tone just like a shade or two darker because when I was making his dad that ended up being deceased, I did think that he was perhaps mixed. I wasn't really too sure, or just someone with a darker skin tone. So I did make him a little bit darker as well off camera. Also, his build is a little bit different than my usual male Sims. I usually make them a little bit more muscular, but I was trying to branch out a bit, and so I just made him tall and kind of lanky. I must have accidentally deleted my height slider when I was going through my mods folder because I don't have it in my game for some reason. I only have the height presets. So I just set him to like the second to tallest height. I was gonna make her shorter, but I didn't want their heights to be too different and then have all their animations look a little bit wonky. But yeah, he's gonna be a tech whiz. He's a geek. He's proper and a music lover. So maybe in their house I could add like a piano or something that he likes to do in his free time. That might be a good idea. I'm still working on their houses. I was thinking about doing some videos, like a pre-done video, not a live stream, kind of going over the ideas for the save file and kind of like the thought process and planning that I'm putting into it, because I have had a few people ask like what I do to plan this out. I've only been into doing the save file for about a week now, a little over maybe, so I don't have anything crazy and I've not been following a super strict plan. Like I said, I just kind of want everything to be improved slightly, and I want a lot of my save to feel kind of reminiscent of The Sims 3 and The Sims 2. Like, I miss the nostalgia with those games, and I loved in those games how alive everything felt, and I feel like sometimes The Sims 4 can lack that. So I want to bring that back in. A build I'm really excited to do and to release for you guys is the Willow Creek Park. I plan on making it one of those changing lots, you know, where you can have it. It came with the Eco Lifestyle pack where it can be like a green area or a maker station. I'm going to make it like that. And I'm going to have it change out seasonally. And it's going to be based off of the Sims 3 seasonal, like, what are they called? Festivals. The seasonal festivals. So I'm going to do that. And it's going to have stuff from this pack from Zepsid, I believe, which was the arcade or like backyard festival pack. But it's really cool. It has stuff converted from The Sims 3. It's like the kissing booth, the hot dog eating contest. So yeah, it's literally going to be like The Sims 3 park and The Sims 3 seasonal festivals. So I thought that would be really exciting to do, and it's definitely going to be fun for gameplay, for seasonal gameplay. That's definitely one of the packs I recommend the most of this game. I've had people ask me that. I'm like, definitely get seasons because it should honestly be in base game, but we know how it is. But it's definitely one of my favorite packs. I think it was actually the first I got when I got The Sims 4. But here we are now working on the kids, and this is the first child, the first twin. And I was struggling with making her because I feel like she had a very sad face. My sister actually came into my room while I was working on her and was saying, like, why does she look so sad? I was like, I don't know. Like, something about her was just looking off. But later on, I added an eyelid detail like her mom has. And I feel like it ended up making her look a lot less sad and just more youthful. Because I feel like she was having a very mature face for her age. And then I think we also did change up her hair a little bit because her bob was looking quite serious. But yeah, with her, I think her traits were loner and then it was creative genius. I figured she's kind of very different from her brother. Like they're close, but they're very different and they can't really relate to each other. But yeah, she's creative like her mom. So that's like something that they're close with. Like they like to do creative tasks together, but maybe with other kids, she doesn't do as well. Like she struggles a little bit socially. So maybe when she ages up, I could have like the socially awkward trait for her. However, I'm gonna turn off aging right now in my save file because I want everyone to stay as they are, like how I have them intended. Because I might look into releasing the save file, but like I said, I have to look into how I can go about doing that with a CC save file. I love that one hair that just showed, the like lopsided pigtails. I was gonna use it on her, but I felt like it wasn't very her style. But yeah. Also, if anyone has questions on like the mods I'm using or like my CC for my Sims, I do plan on doing a like must-have mods video in the future, especially for like my visual mods. I've had a ton of people ask me about the terrain paints I'm using and my lighting. So yeah, we'll be going over that in another video very soon. I'm very excited to get started on this channel and do posting. I've been really inspired by some recent Sims players that I've been watching who have been doing a little bit of longer content on making their save file or just longer content in general. I feel like it's the perfect thing to have on while you're also playing, and it's just so cozy. And that's really what I want this channel to be. I wanted to have a gaming channel and like a Sims channel for so long. I said this on stream the other day that I've been watching Sims YouTubers since like 2013, something like that, 2012. So, yeah, I'm really, really excited to get started on this channel. And yeah, I think it'll be a really fun time. I loved this dress on her, but I think we ended up changing it out. I might change her back to this dress because I feel like it really suits her character. But I don't know. Let me know what you think. Or that outfit. I really liked that one. I feel like her outfit that I did end up picking with her was a little bit more sporty than I feel like she probably would pick. And it did match her brothers quite well. I did color code them a little bit to their house, but I feel I might have been a bit too on the nose with it. Let me know what you think though. Oh my gosh, those little jelly symbols are so cute. I had those when I was little. I had so many pairs of those. I'm sure some of you guys did too. And then I added like little mismatched colored nails for her. I used to always wear nail polish as a kid. It was like a fun little creative outlet for me. I used to do a bunch of like little designs and I'd change it out like every week. It was my little project. But yeah, she was a loner. And then we were making, I think, the toddler right now, which I can't remember what his name ended up being. I just have to wait. But he ended up being so adorable. I feel like the genetics, obviously for the coloring was a bit off, but for their actual facial features, I feel like they ended up being a really nice mix of both of their parents. And sometimes when I use custom presets, that does not end up happening. But this time around, it actually really worked out. Also, a recommendation I have if you're making pre-done families with different ages is age up the children to adults. That way you can kind of see how they look there. And that way when you age them down, you're not like totally freaked out when they do age up and they look super different because usually they'll stay as you had them, as like a teen or an adult. That's how I do that. That way I make sure that their face does actually sort of look similar to their parents. But yeah, this is actually pretty close to how he ends up looking. I think I changed his eye color. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I think for his trait, it was clingy. For a lot of their traits, I randomized, and they ended up actually being really perfect for them. Like for the daughter, which I never got her name. I am so terrible about this. I don't know if anyone else is like this. I always forget the Sims I create, their names. I have to like really drill it into my head. Otherwise, I totally forget. Because I make Sims sort of often, and sometimes I'll forget about them, and I never remember their names. I could literally be playing with a family for weeks, and I would not fully remember their names. It's terrible. Like, I really want to do Let's Plays, but I feel like I'm gonna be forgetting their names the whole time. I'm gonna be like, oh, wait, who are you? What did her name end up being? What? I don't know what it was, but here's her brother, who I think ended up being Spencer. Of course, I randomly remember his name. But yeah, this is her twin, Spencer. I randomized his trait and it ended up being Slob, which I felt like was kind of good for him. I do kind of imagine that. I used the pants from like that throwback kit that came out a while ago, and I thought it was perfect for him. Like I was saying on the stream the other day, I am imagining that this save file is not necessarily the 2000s, but like early 2010s maybe. Like maybe those are hand-me-down pants or something, like from his dad when he was younger or something, or they're thrifted, don't really know. But I thought these were super fun, and yeah, I just feel like he's like a rambunctious kid. The top also might be from the throwback kit. I'm not sure. I don't usually get clothing kits, but I think it was like in some bundle thing that I was getting during the summer sale. I don't really remember. But yeah, he was a slob, and then he has, it was like something. It was like mind and body. It's like the motor skill aspiration for kids. Yeah, that was Spencer. And then here towards the end, it's gonna have the photo of all of them together. I had to download Pose Player again in my game for this because I don't usually use it. Like I usually create sims or I build. Like I don't usually take photos of my Sims that often. But yeah, you'll see it here at the end. Yeah, I just changed the toddler's hair back. Oh yeah, Finn. That was the toddler's name. I think that was really cute, Finn. But here they are, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye guys.